this Congress, we have learned more about the new therapies, because now we have more data, longer follow-up of all the patients treated with the different therapies, not just the gene therapy, but also nusinersen or therapies that are under trial right now. All of them sounds quite good. All the results are quite exciting for us, because in all of them we find the same. If you treat early, it will be better for the patient, and that's particularly clear with all of them, and with gene therapy as well. But we have seen as well posters and communication about that is not for newborn patients or patients in their first years. It could be good for the therapies. Some of them are good as well for older patients. So it's important to have more data in the next years to know exactly what can we expect from these therapies in the different ages. In the next few years, we'll have several therapies to choose, probably, because all of them sounds quite good. And that's very good news, not just for us, but for patients and families, because this is quite different than they used to be. Now it's difficult to know which one is better than the other, because the motor functional scales used in each one of the clinical trials and the age of the patients is different. So it will be very difficult to compare one with other. That's something that we will know in the next few years probably, but in any case, we have a very good response with all of them. So that's the good news, in my opinion.
So I think we should always now think in terms of newborn screening or no newborn screening. So if gene therapy is approved, it's very likely that it's going to be one of the first options for patients with 2 or with 3 copies of SMN2. For patients with 4 copies, it can be discussed, certainly. In patients who are symptomatic with type 1, and 2 or 3 copies of SMN2, it's likely also to be one of the first approach that we will choose, because it's very attractive to think that we have a one-shot therapy. Nevertheless, it still lets some place for other approaches, especially for patients with 4 copies and in patients who have pre-existing immunity, which are 5% of patients for the type 1 and 8 to 9% of patients with type 2 or type 3.
What was really interesting at this meeting, that it was all about therapy. So from when you work in the neuromuscular field for decades, you had very sophisticated diagnostics without a therapy behind. So and now a lot of talks and a lot of posters are all about therapy, and we have so many therapies which are approved or might get soon approved in the future, and so many options for patients, and it's really exciting, and I'm very happy.
The face of spinal muscular atrophy is changing, so this is something that everybody agrees. New opportunities, new approaches, new therapeutic approaches, more data. We have a long time follow-up for the patients. I think that it's something that has to be taken into consideration, but with a very critical eye about it. So we're all looking forward to treat this disease, and we'll see, time will tell if we are there yet or not.